Hello everyone, and welcome to a Throwback Thursday. A few things that I want to get off my chest before I start this review. This is going to be different review today. This is going to have to do with Metalion's The Slayer Diaries. Slayer Mag Diaries by Jon Christensen, which is his real name. His stage name, obviously, is Metalion. But before I get into this, what I need to say, and I need to say something, is lately I've been getting a lot of derogatory comments on YouTube. And I don't know if these are Dan Bell fans that are trolling me, but the misgendering on purpose really pisses me off. Anybody that comes to this channel should know by now that I am a transgender individual. The other thing is saying things like, oh, the latest one that I deleted was this guy that said, it was my video about Death Makes Himself Known, where I was talking about my first experience with Senor La Muerte. And he made a derogatory comment that I made a mistake and lost all my money or some stupid low IQ shit. Look, man, okay, if you're gonna troll my channel, you have to expect that your ass is gonna get deleted. So any low IQ bullshit that I get, I'm not gonna dignify it, honestly. I'm just gonna block and ban. And the other thing is, it's probably going to be a while before I can urbex, because I am... it turns out that I may have psoriatic arthritis, or possibly rheumatoid arthritis, because autoimmune disease. Because my mother had autoimmune shit going on, so that's going to be fun. So I should be able to see a rheumatologist pretty soon, but there's obviously some challenges that are in my life right now. So that sucks, everybody. And just a reminder, my book of Luciferianism, is available now on Amazon. I appreciate the support. The paperback is black and white, and the hardback is color illustrations. It's a little bit nicer, but I'm not expecting people to spend that much. So, it's okay if you want to get the paperback. But the hardback certainly is a nicer collectible thing to have. So, anyway, just wanted to get that out for everyone. Because lately I've been having to delete comments, and it really pisses me the fuck off. So, yeah. I think it's just people that just come and troll me. And they know it gets my goat and all that, and, well, you know, that's how it is. That's how it is when you start becoming famous. You're always going to have haters, and you're always going to have trolls and low IQ bullshit comments. But anyway, why am I doing this? Well, I've had this book for a while, and I don't know if I already did a review on it, or not. I may have flipped through it before, but this is a little bit different from what I'm usually doing. The occult is still kind of involved, but it is definitely more within the range of black metal and metal in general, honestly. So Jan Christensen was really big in the Norwegian, the early Norwegian scene. He was a really good friend with Euronymous. He was kind of there in the beginning with Mayhem. He took pictures of the band that were really iconic. You know, such as this image here. And as you know, Euronymous died in August. And Jan Nodfight also died in August. So, kind of fitting that I do this. But this is just like really such a huge book. Honestly, it took me forever to kind of go through this. And I admit I didn't read every single article. I'm not really a fan of all of these bands. I just kind of read what I liked. But Slayer magazine was probably one of the first metal magazines in Scandinavia. It was made at his house and custom printed and stapled together and all that. Each one had kind of a different theme, and he started it in the 80s. The first one, I think, was 1983. So in addition to these articles, like here's something on Morbid. So anybody that's a fan of Dead is going to like this. Anybody that's a fan of early Mayhem stuff is going to like this. The first 3 issues are in Norwegian, but from then on they're in English. This one is dedicated, I think, to Euronymous. All of these Slayer articles come with like an intro now that he wrote. Past, present, forever. Yeah, this is the one where he talks about Euronymous. So. But yeah, there's a lot of cool things in this book. He even did a great interview with the MLO, Misanthropic Luciferian Order. Let me see if I can find that. But it's pretty awesome magazine. Yeah, here we go. MLO. Misanthropic Lucifer Order. Stropitska. Yeah. An interview with the Swedish organization MLO. This is an interview for those who are interested in other things. If you only want to read about metal, I guess you should drop this. I got a lot of shit for featuring stuff like this in Slayer. But what can I say? Fuck off, perhaps. This is Slayer, and I feature what I want. Remember, the name is Slayer. Not be nice to your mother. Yeah. So a lot of people think that he named his magazine Slayer off of the band Slayer, but it was actually a horror movie, a movie that I actually own, called The Slayer, and it was his favorite horror movie. So, but if you guys want, I can go ahead and just read this interview. I suppose it's probably appropriate since I've been doing a lot of anti-cosmic stuff. So Noxifer is Vlad, obviously. This is kind of a lengthy interview, so but Noxifer, a Satanist, is a person who takes on the role as the constant accuser and opponent and wholeheartedly struggle against status quo with a view to bring forth the personal development and evolution that only can be reached through chaos. What it takes from a person who wants to be a Satanist is a strong will to power and an even stronger attraction to the unknown, secret, and sinister wisdom that is Lucifer's gift to the chosen superior humans who venture into the burning path, which is the way of the transcendental anti-cosmic Satanist. Misanthropy and contempt for society are also essential parts of the true Satanism, because if a sufficient will shall be able to exist to attain the spiritual evolution and bring forth the endless dark eon, which is the highest goal for the anti-cosmic Satanist, there must also exist a burning hate against the prevalent order and the human sheep who gladly submit to the tyranny of the demiurge and the light, pro-cosmic religions, to be able to want to transcend the present cosmic state and become one with the dark gods, who are different aspects of the raging chaos that reigns outside cosmos and the settled universe. The Satanist must have the black flame of chaos burning inside. Hence, the black flame is by far the most important concept within the anti-cosmic Satanism. The black flame is the esoteric name for part of the primal chaos that still burns inside the dark souls of the strong ones. This black flame is the same power that the Sumerians referred to as the blood of Kingu. The ancient Egyptian draconian cults called the seed of Apib, and the Qliphothic anti-Sephirotic magicians called the flame of Moloch. The black flame is also the pneuma of the of the dark Gnostics, that was also called the divine spark. It is the divine spark that is the spirit of the chaos Gnostics and the anti-cosmic Satanists. It is their inner driving force that makes them struggle against the cosmic order, life after life, to the end, reach the understanding and wisdom that shall completely awaken the black flame of chaos, blood of Kingu, and burn the physical, spiritual shackles that keep us imprisoned in this cosmic prison that the demiurge, in essence the foolish creator, created in the beginning of time. We were created out of chaos against our will, but the black flame strengthens our will and gives us the possibility to seek back to our origin, the wild, dark, paradoxical, fearful, beautiful, and eternal chaos, which is the dragon Tiamat. Therefore, it is essential for a person who desires to walk on the left and sinister path to have understanding of the inner black flame, which is the reflection of the external, eternal black flame. Lucifer, our cruel and proud father, the bringer of light, the black flame shall set the world on fire. Hail chaos. What does it give you being a Satanist? Do you feel that you're part of a greater concept? To be an anti-cosmic Satanist and chaos Gnostic is to us the same as following our own true will, leading us to immortal power and eternal freedom and chaos. We enter into the darkness of the unknown, hunting for the forgotten and dreaded treasures. For we know that our own self-made light, the light of Satan Lucifer, will guide our steps. Satanism is the path, leading us away from the creation of God towards the divinity of one's own soul. Through the practice of the black arts and art studies, we know that we're on the right track through the labyrinth which weaker individuals went astray. This gives us great satisfaction. Satanism is the only thing that makes life worth living. For what should this life among human sheep that was forced upon us be without the pleasure, ordeals, dangers, battles, and victories, as well as the true darkness, evil, hate, death, and infernal wisdom the dark gods make accessible to the few strong and chosen ones, the elect, who dare to tread the path of the black dragon. Satanism is the salvation for the strong and the annihilation of the weak. We look up to the dark gods that we, when we have reached all of our goals, will become one with. We shall break through the cosmic barriers, through the dark portals, return into the dragon's womb. Thus, the answer to your question is yes, we are part of the greater concept. Kipper a pet. What are your rewards when dedicating your life as a Satanist? We have already answered this question, but might add that we see Satan as part of the raging anti-cosmic chaos that has been described as the black light, which is the name of the power that counteract the creator, the demiurge, aiming to crush cosmos and its creator, establishing the primal state, formless chaos. That rules before the light and the demiurge came into being. Some say you are a Satanist since the day you were born. How do you view that? Being anti-cosmic Satanist as we are, we know that we consist of body, soul, astral body, and spirit. The black flame, every time we die, the body and the astral body is killed, and the cosmic prana life force, these two bodies contain the being sucked back into cosmos, being recycled in the cosmic circulation, in other words, reincarnation. Some black magicians are able, through the practice of vampirism, to program their astral bodies to feed upon the life force of other living creatures after death of their own physical body, this way preventing their post-mortem astral bodies from being recycled by the cosmic powers. However, those who practice astral vampirism are in most cases not anti-cosmic Satanists and don't carry the black flame inside. They therefore deny the existence of the spirit. black flame and see the soul astral body as the deepest essence of their existence. It is therefore of the utmost importance to those vampires to keep their astral bodies alive and avoid the second death, the death of the astral body. We, on the other hand, who have the black flame burning within us, and through the past eons have stood up against the attacks from the gods of light, whose objective is to put out our inner chaos fire. This way, disconnecting the dark links that bind us to the powers of chaos, do not care for the body, soul, astral body, for we know that as long as the black flame is burning with the help of dark mind and strong will, we will reincarnate life after life. This process is called being chained to the wheel of life. So if the black flame was burning in your past life, then it will be burning inside you this life too. Having this in mind, you can say that you're Satanist since the day you were born. I'm just going to skip through some of this because it is pretty long and lengthy. You were involved in misanthropic Luciferian order. Tell us some more concerning this. You are involved in misanthropic Luciferian order. Tell us some more concerning this organization. When was it started? How many members? Misanthropic Luciferian order is an order dedicated to the anti-cosmic powers and the fortification, liberation, ultimately reaching of the divinity of the inner black flame. One of our goals is to gather and reunite the elect who, life after life, have acted as living portals to the chaos. That reigns outside the barriers of cosmos. Through channeling, disharmonic and anti-cosmic energies have contributed to speed up the anti-cosmic evolution and the initiation of the dark eon. MLO want by means of uniting and concentrating the black chaos fires that burn inside these chosen warriors of the left-hand path to burn new holes in the cosmos, cosmic consciousness, and open new dark portals of the collective unconscious of mankind. MLOs study all dark esoteric doctrines and practice anti-cosmic black magic to increase the powers of our members and the dark gods, both on spiritual and material plane. By bringing about the eclipse of our own spirit, we darken the macrocosm in large. Still, there are three main branches within the black magic that MLO explores and practices. All these three dark pathways lead to anti-cosmic freedom and eternal might and chaos. They are the Sumerian chaos Gnosticism, the Draconian Setianism, and the Qliphothic anti-Kabbalah. By developing and, to a certain degree, combining these three systems, we want to create new dark mythologies, philosophies, rituals that shall contribute to the personal evolution of our members and reawaken of the black flame in those who in the present life dream the forced dreams of oblivion. The more exoteric ambitions of MLO is to give room for anti-cosmic Satanists to interchange thoughts and ideas with like-minded individuals by way of promoting their progress on the left-hand path, which is the path of the Black Dragon. MLO perform anti-cosmic Satanism, which, by exposing us to real danger, hate, might, strength, battles, darkness, death, and chaos, strengthen our identification with the dark gods that we look up to. Our path is therefore a severe and dangerous one that puts our members to the test and sorts out the weak. For it is only the strong that have the will to power and who realize that knowledge is power that manage to walk on the burning path. It is through our studies that we plant the seed of power inside our own spirit. The seed has grown and blossomed. We can perform our powerful magic. The Satanist is the herald of chaos, that at all times should personify might, darkness, and sinister gnosis. That which doesn't make us stronger kills the spirit, and we must therefore constantly strive for progress and anti-cosmic evolution. MLO have, for example, a completely different structure and build-up today than we had, say, 4 years ago. We keep on changing and developing with every day that passes. But our goals will always be the same. Chaos equals evolution. Those who don't become stronger must die in order to make way for the mighty. Might is right. He says all information, members are confidential. The order was founded in 1995. Hail Azerati 218. What does it take for someone to become a member of MLO? For a candidate to be able to become a member of the misanthropic, she must wholeheartedly sympathize with the misanthropic anti-cosmic values of our order, and also be over 18 years of age. The candidate should already be an anti-cosmic chaos Gnostic Satanist and a practicing black magician, ready to dedicate her entire existence to following her true will in accordance to the will of the dark gods. The candidate should then contact the order by writing to one of our contact addresses that are to be found in those who have the will to search for them. For example, by mail, describing his or her convictions and interest in joining MLO. If the order finds her letter serious and intelligent, the candidate will be introduced to a contact person, a brother or sister of the order, in the 2nd grade. The candidate will then be at least 6 months be subject to introduction to the basics of ML, or anti-cosmic magic, philosophy, and mythology, demonology. The candidate is also given instruction on how to build his or her black altar with the broken pentagram and focus. If the contact person makes the estimation that the candidate has a burning interest in the works of MLO and that she in some way can contribute to the development of the other members, she, after a minimum of 6 months, be initiated into the first and outer circle of the order, the Misanthropic Legion, or the Circle of Tinism. Become a member of the Order of 1st grade. More esoteric scriptures and several rituals, as well as being part in most of the activities of the order, like meetings, feasts, and rituals before the candidate member of the 1st grade can reach the point of becoming full member. They have to swear loyalty, So, within our order, we look upon each other as different reflections of the dark gods and assist each other with everything that can facilitate our spiritual progress. But we do also assist each other with the more physical, material side of our anti-cosmic. For example, removing everything and everyone who dares to stand in the way of any of our members. We who are anti-cosmic Satanists are always prepared to kill and die for each other, for we know that no one else in this strange world in which we are strangers deserve our loyalty by the dark links of the black flame. Raging chaos forever hail. Lucifuge Rovakill. It seems MLO is pretty active, looking for recruiting new members. Make proper judgment of who can join or not. MLO don't seek new members seek MLO. Mankind consists of human cattle that, because of their own weaknesses and apathy, have allowed the dimmer urge to put out their black flames of chaos. Of course, we have been contacted by some of these fools thinking that Satanism is some kind of game. However, we usually sort out the wolves from the lambs quite easily. Hail the elect. And then Metalion asks, is it possible to be a member of MLO as well as some other satanic organization? He says it is possible simultaneously to be a member of MLO with another satanic organization if the philosophy, values, and doctrines of the other aren't in opposition to what MLO stand for. For example, it is impossible being an active member of LaVey's church at the same time being a member of MLO. We don't, however, regard LaVey's church and its bastard offspring Temple set as satanic organizations. Yet it must be added that in comparison with the activities of LaVey, Temple is set as a far more serious and intelligent organization. But they are still not satanic. Their first mistake was trying to make Satanism and the ruler of darkness set into something accepted and harmless. This way, attempting to become a big religion accepted and acknowledged by the rest of the Judeo-Christian society. Satanism is not for the apathetic masses, but for the elect. Transcend the limitations of life and death to become one with the gods of chaos. Satanism spits at both the laws of God and man, and follows the formula of our father, Satan Lucifer. Ko ab ordo, which means chaos from order, and thus follows his own law, which is the true will of the eternal black flame. So, when it comes to the late Mr. LaVey and his organization, it is the opinion of no less than every anti-cosmic traditional Satanist that LaVey and his church has nothing to do with real Satanism. They role-play Satanism. Yeah, exactly, like the Satanic Temple. Do most of the members have a black metal background? Most of our members don't have a black metal background yet. There has been and still are those at MLL that through music spread our dark messages and the energies that we work with. It is through planting the dark seed of the unconscious of the masses desired changes in the human psyche can be achieved. It is when the dark seed grown comes out, blossoms the chaos. A lot of people playing in black metal bands claim to be Satanists. and don't do anything about it. We and other anti-cosmic traditional Satanists have always done what others only dare to sing, write, and speak about. Satanism is a religion for the active. It has sadly enough for too long served the purposes of the ignorant and foremost cowardly fools. What is dead serious to us seems nothing but exciting role-playing to others. Unmusical, worthless for others to use for selling their unmusical and worthless records. Still, there has always been a small care of serious Satanists who have been using music in order to spread the message. Now, words dissection. Yeah, and that's their logo. Act like a portal. So, so there's another person that is at this interview too, named Tenebris. He's talking a little bit about black metal. Have you had a lot of people interested in joining who have chickened out? In the early days of MLO, we came in touch with certain unworthy people who pretended to be something they never could be. When these scum that we within the order now humorously refer to as the living dead were exposed to different situations that could be a little dangerous, demanding, and really satanic, they turned their backs on the order by running away. Telling too much by testifying against certain members of the order during various trials. However, these weak whores taught us to have a lot heavier demands on those who want to join the order. By learning from our mistakes, we became stronger. These unworthy traitors are, of course, familiar with the fact that there's only one punishment for infiltrators, traitors, and those who consciously stand in our way. Yet there are more important things to do than thinking about these unworthy pigs. These living dead will, in course of time, surely get to know the worth maybe forget. This is know the wrath of Alastor, God, maybe forgiveness. Yeah. Some of the translations kind of weird on this. There are already a lot of so-called satanic organizations out there. What makes MLO different? We don't agree at all with the statement, but we agree with the fact that there are many who claim to be Satanist. So basically he's going through the whole satanic, the Church of Satan stuff and all that. And then a lot of satanic cults deny the existence of a personified Satan. He says MLOC, Satan, Lucifer, Set, Apep, Kingu, Typhon, Ahriman, Samael, the Blacklight, Angry Manu, Surt, Loki, Diabolus. Different aspects of primal chaos. First, anti-cosmic emanating from the Alia is called Satan. So post-cosmic raging chaos, this anti-cosmic emanation, which is our father Satan, was created by the raging chaos to act as the antithesis of the demiurge. Flames. The names, symbols, and myths that we use to describe the first offspring of the raging chaos are all human inventions in order to describe the indescribable. and we can only reach acquaintance and through true contact. But the power that we call Satan is much older than human consciousness. Those who have been in spiritual contact with the energies of our Father cannot deny his existence. And those who never have enjoyed the brilliant darkness and power of our Father have neither any right to call themselves Satanists. The blind fools who call themselves Satanists without believing in the existence of the satanic current are misled lambs. And we, the wolves of Satan, shall tear apart. Ad majorem Luciferi gloriam. The day of wrath draws near. How important was the link to the Norwegian inner circle? To neighbors, personally, I can say that it meant a lot as long as it lasted back then. In 1991, things mainly concerned black metal and ideological Satanism. Not so much practical Satanism, but anyway. And we were all burning for it like the most natural thing. The black circle, or the inner circle if you like, was formed, and the plane were huge. It grew quickly to become some sort of black metal army. It was, however, rather poorly organized and kind of stood and fell with Euronymous and his shop. Therefore, it vanished with his death in 93, and all the rest at the time. However, these years were somewhat intense, and I can look back on them with a smile on my lips. Sadly enough, many people involved at the time destroyed their ideals and lost their interest when things fell apart, like it was nothing more than a hype temper of nature. An interesting story is one about it, from Abruptum, who was at one time running the True Satanist horde. There are so many rumors concerning him that he chickened out and left for Finland. Do you know anything about that? Life is full of disappointments, and the situation you're asking about was one of them. Don't ask the devil for a dance if you're not prepared to dance until death. Are there any organizations that MLO support or even work together with? 1 year after some MLO members ended up in prison, an outlaw organization and brotherhood called Werewolf Legion was formed, which consists mainly of non-Satanists, has a clear collaboration with MLO, and even though most of its members aren't Satanists, they are all warriors, outlaws, and misanthropes. FTLI. There are also plans to start up Werewolf Legion in Norway and Holland, for it is in these countries besides Sweden that MLO is established. The only satanic organization that we support is ONA, so Order of Nine Angles, and its subsection. Hey, will you stop it, Jerry? In subsections, we also support a certain American order of vampires that, contrary to silly role-playing vampires, practice true vampirism. Hail MLO, hail Werewolf Legion, hail Satan. Yes, Jan Nightfight has a tattoo of Werewolf Legion. dissection article. This Botane article is really good. Yep, so in closing, this might be a good book if you're interested in a lot of this stuff. I like it. I think it's a cool book. Let's see, how much was it? Shoot, I can't remember how much it was. I want to say it was up there because it's a coffee table book. But, yeah, you can find it in some stores. It's a pretty good book. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this review, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.